Hello everybody, doing a little check to see what's going on. Looks like my display is the wrong display. There it is. Haha. Ta-da, doing a little bit of Magic the Gathering today. Gotta check and see if my sound is working. Looks like I've got all the little pings going like I should. Excellent. Thank you, Drake. As my heart starts beating again. I just had my annual physical today, okay? Good thing I'm nice and healthy. Appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Lunchtime scare, absolutely. Uh, doing a little bit of Magic the Gatherings arena. Uh, as you know, if you've watched before, you always gotta check the store, see what goodies they have in store for you. They've got a lot of times they'll do free gold and free gems. So, and by free I mean it costs 50 gold to get 550. So let's do a little shout out to Drake. If you are interested in D&D live play, he is the man. Oh, that's me. What the heck happened? Why is it not? Oh, haha, that's why. I've never used Twitch before, so there we go. That's Drake Takes Last Play in Fantasy Grounds. Yep. So check him out. Um, Lots of good stuff. He also is co-host on the Rob Toohey show on Sunday nights, so you can see him there as well. He also does all the videos for me, so and for a couple other streamers as well. So man of many talents. Check him out. He's got a Patreon. He's got a YouTube channel. All that stuff. All right. So these allow you to play in the tournaments, and right now it is 10% off. Very cool. However, I have 9 of them, so I don't need no sneaking token. All right, fairy godmother. That's an interesting fairy godmother. Um, Shepherd of the flock. And Order of Midnight, Hypnotic Sprite, Merfolk Secret Keeper. That's a pretty cool art. Nice art, but I have I don't use these cards, so I don't care. And I bought a bunch of them already. All right, so let's do a little magic. Let's switch my background though, huh? How about that? Be a little bit more professional. Boom. There we go. We'll do this one. I like this background. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, so I just had to attack with 30 creatures to get this thing. I've already got all my victories for the week. This resets every Sunday, and you get extra bonuses for killing somebody. I think it's 20 times, 15 times, something like that. No, 15. It's the same number of ticks as this one, the daily one. Uh, so I've been messing around a lot with my dragons. It's one of my favorite all-time decks that I've had. I had a everything deck, big rainbow deck that was a commander deck, but when they shifted the series over, I had to lose all that. So we'll try the dragons and see how that plays out. So I tried to explain a little bit better, explain a little bit more than some of the other streamers of Magic what I'm doing and why. This deck is huge, but I have enough lands in it to where I live, and I have a lot of other things that give me mana. So, but I still always need to start with 3. I have 3, so I'm good to go. I'm going to keep this. The World Tree is a good card because once you have 6 lands out, then all of your lands give you mana of any color. So I'm going to start with him. So he comes out tapped. I don't have anything that will play for low. Pretty much nothing. There are very few cards in this deck that have really low mana costs. So I'm usually spending my time ramping up, hoping for more lands as we go. So far, it's not been very good. Crypt of the Eternals. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not getting any lands. I'm not liking this. Alright, so I can kill his Cobra. I don't think I'm going to yet. I don't know what else he's got in his bag of tricks. He's got 230 cards in his deck, which makes mine seem like a tiny one. Ancient Ziggurat. I forgot about the Ancient Ziggurat. Oh. Alright, so here we go. We can kill this one. Create 2 treasure tokens. Oh yeah, we definitely want to kill him. Alright, so this just says all that flame, that wall of text there on the Dragon's Fire simply says pick a dragon and you can do that much damage, or don't pick a dragon and you can just do 3 damage. So I just did the 3. I don't want him to know what I have. So going next to combat. Very nice. See, if I don't get another land, I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, there's no point in playing because if I can't get the lands I need, I can't build. Do a little sad trombone. Little sad trombone. There's not a whole lot you can do when you don't get the mana you need. That's one of the negatives to this deck, is that you don't always get the mana that you need. But we're gonna go for it again so you guys can see what it's like when it hits on all cylinders. See, this is another thing that brings out the add one of any color, so it's another mana source, and it also boosts my dragons. It gives them hexproof and a +1/+1. But I need 3 lands. Again, 2 lands. Alright, I'll go down to 5, and then that's as far as I'll go. Alright, so this will give me 3. Alright, we'll keep it. So I have to get rid of 2. I hate mulliganing this much, but don't really have a choice. Either give up or try it. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. I have no dragons in my hand, but I have 149 other cards to pull from, so I need 1 or 2 more lands and then a couple. There we go. This is great. That's going to help me a lot. So we'll throw him out. He is a legendary land. Ooh, he's legendary. It's exciting. Doesn't do anything special. Gives me a land, but he can cast a spell. There's a spell that I can cast with him, but I don't know if I've ever used the blue spell. Nice. There we go. There's another land we wanted. Alright, so these triomes come in tapped, but they give you 3 choices, so they're really nice. They're pretty cool. Alright, so I want to bring him in. He's red, green. So we have red and green. Here's a red, so good. So we can throw him down. That gives me the red, the green, and the 1. So I can bring him in. He will also give me a mana. And I can bring in him. He's not legendary though. So I can bring him in. That was rude. Alright, so this one I definitely want to kill. In every game life you get a +1/+1 counter on her. So she's powerful enough. She puts a +1/+1 counter every turn. But she gains life and he says gain another one, so it gets out of control pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and kill her right now. I'm tired of her face. Alright, so now I have a dragon. So I have 4 lands. He costs 5. So I'm 1 away from him. I'm going to go ahead and use this. What this does is you throw away 5 cards into your discard. But of those 5, you can then grab a creature and put it into your hand. So we're going to do that. He takes 6. There were no creatures in the next 5 cards. Ooh. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can bring him in. And what he does, for 2, I can put any creature card from my hand onto the battlefield. So 2 turns, I'll at least have one of these guys out. There we go. I can bring him in right away. He's a 4/4. He's not going to do anything for me. Oh, he's down to 6. Never mind. I'm already down to 6. So yeah, that's like I said before. The trouble with this deck is it takes a while to build. And if I don't get the time, so if I have a fighting red, or in this case somebody who came out with white and who could just sit there and keep boosting themselves turn after turn after turn, then I typically don't do well against them. But believe it or don't, this has about 45% win rate. Maybe even 46, 47%. Because this is actually a really good deck. See, again, I hate mulliganing so much. I'm not even going to try this time. Because last 2 times I went down. Alright. No, because I couldn't mulligan. I mean, I couldn't play. So I did not have fun in the match. I've been doing that recently. Taking little polls on how much fun. Do you have fun, yes or no? Not sure what data they're what they're doing with that data, rather. But alright, so for 3 he comes in as a land type thing. So frustrating. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and keep 6. Get rid of this guy. And just hope I get lands. So he's green. So I just need 1 more land and I can bring him in. And that will give me a monk that gives me a mana. So I'll have a little bit of a mana draw, mana pull from him. The Birth of Meletis. One of the old school cards. See, and he, listen, look at the top card, he's only 2. guys are getting easy wins, man. Very, it's this is this is one of my favorite decks. It just does not want to show you guys its power. Show you the power. Alright, so we'll switch to the Brawl. My Brawl deck, if you guys aren't familiar with how Brawl works, similar to Commander, you have one Commander that's a legendary creature. Every card has to match the colors that are on that Commander's card. And you have exactly 60 cards in your deck, and none of them, except for lands, can be duplicates. Alright, so again, I have 2 lands. I like to have 3, but I don't need 3 with this. And if you see, I have 2 cards I can play for. 2, I also like these 2 cards a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. There you go. See, I already got a land. Awesome. We don't have anything for 1, so we're going to throw him in first to get me my life. So I have 2 swamps, so I definitely need an island. So I have a lot of cool looking islands here that I can pick from. I'm going to pick this guy, my stained glass wind. See, it's a nice little blue sparkly land. Obsessive Astromancer. Discard 2 cards and then draw that many cards. Why do you want to just sit there and discard cards? Weird. Okay. Whatever, man. Alright, so now I can counter spell with 4 or greater, which we won't have. Or I can counter a creature spell, which is probably what I'll end up doing. There we go. See? Mine. Later. Alright, so we bring him in. We get to bring in my big guy. I'm not sure why he didn't bring in his, but okay. So I still have 2 more lands to drop. And he killed himself. Okay. He was actually doing really well. I was not confident at all. He did say, JJ, good game. So, I'll take the W. Thank you. Alright, so now that we've got, sort of shake it off, the weirdness, we can go back to our Dragons deck, and you get to see what it will do. Come on, I have faith. Gotta have faith. Come on, Dragon deck. I believe in you. There we go. See? Now we're cooking with gas. Alright, so we have 3 already. Couple really high cost spells, but that's alright. All of these are great cards. And if nothing else happens, I can keep it. Throw him down for 3. So the new prototype cards, if you're not familiar with them, you can see here they have a lower cost and a higher cost. So you can play them for the lower cost, like this would be 2 and 1. And it's a 1/3. It still has flying, still has gets +1, so it has all the flavor text. I mean all the bonuses and things. But if you play it for 8, it's a 5/5 with all these things. So that's how those work. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring him in. So we're going to make him green. Drop it down. We're going to reveal him because he's a dragon. Because we're going to play him right now anyway. So Tana was exposed for all of 2 seconds. This will give us another mana. So I now have 3 mana. I'll be able to throw him down for 4. And the blight card loses all land types and abilities and has just add 1. Or pay 1 and add 1. Okay, so I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna block him because I don't know why he would attack. That's confusing. Alright, so I want to bring him down in. I can do him for 3 anyway. So I'll go ahead and bring him in. He comes in tapped. So next turn I'll have 5. And I'll be getting a lot closer to being able to do cool stuff. So the awesome thing about this card is so fun to me. You pay 4. He exiles cards until I get an instant or sorcery, and then I pay it. And then he puts all those cards back on the bottom of his card. So basically, I'm casting one of his instant or sorcery spells for free. Well, for the 4. What? Until they exile an instant or sorcery. What just happened? That should not have happened. I don't know what happened. No attacks. Okay, so it says until they exile an instant or sorcery, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So I don't know what happened there. So he's killing my dude. I was looking for one of these because he has a lot of those kill spells, so I can kill his creatures. But let's try it again. I don't know what happened. Why is it just doing 2? Here we go. Destroy target non-artifact creature. We're gonna go ahead and kill him. That's what should have happened last time. I don't know why it didn't. But I'm sure I missed something. Magic the Gathering Arena is typically really good. So I'm sure the mistake was mine. Come on, guys. You guys are killing me. Let's try it again. Going through all his cards. Here we go. Boom. I gained 3 life and draw a card. Awesome. Thank you. There we go. Now I get a land from it. That's awesome. So that worked out well. Yeah, it did. Yeah, let's do a little bit of a applause for that one because that worked out beautifully. Excellent. Alright, so now I'm getting a Orb of Dragonkind out onto the deck, out onto the field. So it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll have 6, which means I cannot do anything yet. Which means I still need 1 more to do it. But, do I want to bring him in yet? I'm going to wait. So I'm waiting. I'm down to 16, which is not the end of the world. That's why I haven't played him yet. I'm down to 16. I'm doing other things. So I'm gambling that he's only doing 1. Now he's going to be doing 3 damage to me. So I still have time to come in. If I just get 1 or 2 more mana sources, I'll be able to flood the deck, flood the field with, I'll be able to flood the field with these dragons in my hand. This is a really cool card as well. It allows me to transform any of his creatures into oxen. It's pretty funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this again. Want to kill one more of his creatures. Nice. Destroy target creature. There we go. Boom. I'm going to kill his Bloodthirsty Aerialist. She gets me tough really fast because she, every time I lose life, she gains bonuses and stuff. Here, I'll show you. It's this one. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 on her. So she gets, and she's flying, so she gets pretty powerful pretty quick. Alright, Dragon's Fire is 3, or I can expose a dragon and do more damage. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and cast him. I'm going to expose my Tiamat. So that I can do 7 damage. Alright, so we've done that. So let's go ahead and bring in my wand. Am I tired of this guy? We're done. We're good. We're going to keep going. So all it would do is this would change him into a 2/4 ox, and he's only a 2 anyway, so I'd rather he be a 2/1 than a 2/4. I am getting low though. I'm down to 10 already, so I need to start killing more of his creatures. Start bringing in some of mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. See, I need 1 more, and I can bring in him, which will give me a crap ton of treasure tokens. Alright, so he'll give me a monk, which will do it. That'll be enough. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Give me a monk, which gives me a mana source. It'll also... And then I'm going to bring in my 3 finally. The reason I'm doing this is because I have a lot of other dragons right now. And he is black, so he has a lot of kill spells. So hopefully this will make him want to use some of his kill spells like that before my big guys come out. And that was a mistake on his part. He should not have killed that dragon. He should have killed my mana source. Because my mana source is what's going to kick him in the butt. Click. Just submit 1, get a +1/+1. Alright, so now, see, because now I can play all these cards. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and bring him in. Because of him, he will have haste, which is awesome. I'll bring him in as well. So this is going to be pretty cool. We're going to go to combat. To attackers. So when he attacks, he does 4 damage to 1 person. So we're going to kill him. Then 3 damage to up to 2 other people. And now I'm going to use him and change him into a ox. And it will end the turn. Which means next turn I can then kill him if he lives, which he did not. Alright. So yeah, he kills me back, but I'll be able to bring in my other dragons, and he'll be coming in as a 2/2. He didn't attack. Interesting. Alright, so here's this. On his turn, I was supposed to change that, but I forgot. That's alright. I don't need it right now anyway. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Ugin, because everybody's scared of Ugin. Well, no I won't. Instead, I'm going to bring in my Gnawbones. When he comes in, he will have haste because of my orb. I'm going to just decline. Next to combat, next to attackers, he's going to attack. So when I attack, for as long as I have him in my hand, I mean out on the board, he brings in treasure tokens for every damage per somebody takes. We're going to go ahead and switch him. I think we need some more reds, because I don't have enough reds. Boom. And then I am going to bring in this guy just for fun. Or should I bring in him? Choices, choices. I'm going to bring him in first because he's another blocker. And right now I don't have a blocker for this guy. I'm still only at 5 life, so decline. And that's going to end the turn. Alright. Each opponent loses 2 life. This ability costs 1 less for each creature in your graveyard. Alright, so each opponent, yeah, definitely killed him. Oh, he killed himself. Alright, see, I told you it could win. I told you. You wouldn't believe me, but I told you it could win. So, yeah, I had 3 flyers. He had nothing that could block him. So I was doing 14 damage in the air. So that's why he understandably stopped. I was also casting a lot of his kill spells myself with my wand. So, yeah. So he gave me enough time to build up. Thank you, thank you. I actually attacked with 2 creatures this time. Yay! See, so that's why I like this deck. It's because there's so many cards, and that it's never the same way twice. Like there's a couple combos you can make where you have cards that give you life every time. I mean, the opponent loses a life, and then you have one that every time you gain life, your opponent loses life. So you bring out those 2 cards, do 1 point of damage, and then it's just a never-ending cycle until he dies. You're gaining a life, he's losing a life, you're gaining a life, you're losing a life. And that's the same way you win every single time with that card, with that deck. The whole point is to bring out those 2 cards, put them in play at the same time, and win. And to me, that's just boring. Alright, so we're going to go with the dragons again. One more time to show you it's not just a fluke, that this really is a good game. I mean, good deck. Don't forget, you come by and stop by and say hi and watch me live. I have a couple different things you can do. Let's go with trying to add this on the fly because I forgot to add it before we started. But there's a thing called Sven Silliness that you can. Here it is. Open. Okay, here we go. So here's a list of things, and I'll roll randomly, or there's one that you pay for that will allow you to pick from this list, and you can pick anything from this list if you want me to do weird things. So check out the Sven Zone particles, and you can see what you can do with them. Start with this, which doesn't do anything, And we'll start off with you, who also deals with legendary. So this helps cast legendary spells. I mean, legendary creatures and things like that. I'm going to throw him in. He costs 1. So use him to auto pay. We have legendary here for 4 only. He only costs 3, so I'll be able to get my monk out. So we're already doing really well with our mana sourcing. So we're going to pass the turn. I like to transform him on their turn, just to be weird. This allows me to pick any land I want. I want red right now. Actually, no, I want green. He has any color, right? Am I on crack or what's going on? One of any color, yes, I was right. Okay, so that'll allow me to do the green, so I definitely want red. So this one costs 3. You sacrifice a land, put 2 lands on the battlefield. I don't think that's worth it when you can have cultivate. I don't know. Yeah, it's instant, but I don't like it. Here's my cool land. So, you know, spooky and dark. Anyway, so let's go ahead and bring in my monk. Karn! Dun, dun, dun.
I am not frightened by you.
Alright, keys to the archive. When keys, battlefield, draft a card from the key to the archive. Okay, so I thought it was just going to be a game-ending combo, but it's not. So I'm not sure what he's doing with that. Excellent. This time I'm going to go ahead and bring him in as green, just because I have enough reds right now. So I can bring in my... He has haste, so I'm going to bring in him. This guy will give him mana, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. He is going to attack, actually.
There are greater battles to fight.
Alright, so he's got more than 100 cards in his deck. I just killed his card backs, his card sleeve. Anyway, so this doesn't cost anything, but it only provides mana when I have a legendary creature out. I have legendary lands, I have legendary creatures out right now. So that's what he will do, is he brings in, he's a legendary creature, so that means he will then provide me 1 red. And then I'll be able to bring him in as well. So I have my 2 reds and a green, so we're going to go ahead and bring him in. Just for now, I'll pick one of the other. How about a blue? I have several blue cards, so we'll bring blue in. Throw him down. I am going to take that action because I have 3. So what that does is it allows me to pay X and give them +1/+1 counters. I could have done more than 3, but alright. So he now has, he's now a 7/7. Okay, so let's keep going. Next. And we're going to attack again. The cool thing is, while the Goldspan Dragon is here, my Travel has 2 mana. And we're going to end the turn. So he's an instant, so he does 3 damage. which is nice. I don't see any game-winning combos out here, so I'm not sure what he's doing with this, but okay. He is taking another turn after this, so we'll see. I have 13 damage coming through the air right now. Seagate. Da, da, da. He paid 3 life, so that's weird. I don't know why he would do that when he didn't use it. That seems really stupid. It comes in tapped. He gets another free turn immediately after. I don't understand. Again, I don't see a game-winning combo here. So he takes his 3rd turn in a row. Another key to the archive, okay. He discards his last card that he has in his hand. And then I will win the game because I can kill his goose, which is his last blocker.
I battle with the forces of good. I will not stop.
And I'm going to kill Karn instead of this goose, because I can do 3 damage to him right now. As soon as he's done finding a card from outside the game. Draw 2 cards, target can choose -5, -5. Again, it's just not able to see what this is doing.
Do not hit me.
So I'm just going to go to combat. Alright, so there were no surprises. I just don't know. 6-foot tan, 6-foot Dan. Not sure what you were trying to do there. It seemed like he had some really solid choices with his deck, but no way to pull the trigger. Alright, so now you've seen that this card, this deck, really does work. I also have another one that's not quite as successful, but is similar in that it has a lot of cards. So you win different ways, but you have to start with 3 mana or mana sources, and you have to get the cards you need. But when you do, oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, and a druid who is a mana source. Perfect, we'll keep it. He costs 5, he costs 6. Both Hydras. He only costs 2. And we'll be bringing him out pretty quick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and throw him in. Boom. So he might be doing a little deck, but then again, I've seen some ruined crabs and just randomly thrown in decks just to be annoying. Wow. But if he's doing a mill deck, he's going to have to try pretty hard. Usually mill decks don't have the wizard class spell in there, so we'll see. Alright, let's go ahead, and now we can go ahead and take our, well, we'll go ahead and bring him in. Bring him in as a green. So let's bring her in. She gives us a mana of any color, which is nice. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 next turn. Go ahead and bring him in. I do have spells that allow me to attack other creatures, like do damage based on their attack and stuff like that. Ah, Toxrill. There we go. He's the game winner right there, baby. Needs 7. But let's go ahead and bring him in so I can do some damage. So I could attack with her, but he has a life of 3, so it doesn't do me any good. He would just block with his crab and earn this. And if you see him, I'm not worried because yeah, I have 9 cards in my library, but I have 92 cards left, so I'm not really worried. It does not appear to be a mill deck, or if it is, it's not working very well for him. So I, on the other hand, have 4 or 5 sources of mana right now. I only need 2 more to bring him in. We're going to go ahead and bring our Hydra in. He has Menace, which means he can't be blocked. You wouldn't block him anyway, because he has 3 life. Now he has 4, but he still wouldn't block him because let's see. Alright. Opponent would mill 1 or more cards and mill twice that many cards. Alright, so I need to kill him if I can, because there is a combo where target player mills half their deck. He mills twice as much, so I just mill out. Or you draw that many cards, whatever it might be. I don't have a way of doing it though, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in just for fun. I don't have anything else to do. I don't have a way of killing this guy, so I don't know that it's going to help at all. Let's give it to her. Do I have enough to reconfigure you? No, I don't. Alright, next to combat. Next to attackers. You would have to block with both. And if he does, I will just make him indestructible. He did not. Alright, so let's see. If he can do it this turn, then I'm probably host. So like I said, remember how this deck, for example, has one particular way to win. The only way he wins is if he draws the card that he wants. And that's why he's drawing so many cards and trying to get as many cards as he can out. Because he's looking for that other card that says target player mills half their deck. And because of Bravo here, I would mill twice as much. Otherwise, I'm doing 8 damage to him. Passing a turn. If I get one more land, then there we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. So now I can bring him in. I'm just going to attack with the 1 because I don't want him to block. So he will not kill me. What happens is I get a +1/+1 now. He's still searching for that card. Still looking for that card that he wants. And if he can find it, then I will lose. Yep, there it is. So, and to me, it's just boring. I mean, you win the same way. If either you die before you can, you know, your opponent kills you before you can get this last thing done, or you win the same way. And to me, it's just boring. So, good for you. I hope you're happy. I hope that feeds whatever thing that you have and makes your life better. But it's just not for me. I don't like it. It's boring. It's somewhat successful. You've got to have the right cards, and you've got to do it quick enough before your opponent can react. Now, I have a mill deck. I'm not saying, I'm not keeping it. I'm not slamming mill decks, because I have them. But mine does not have that combo in it to where you just automatically win. And maybe it should. Maybe it should. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and bring it up first. He is tapped unless you have 2 lands. He costs 1 or it goes away. So the only thing we can really do is first. Alright, so we'll bring him in next. We can then bring her in. Or I might bring in my Chromatic Lantern, who will give me another mana. I want to bring her my shield in. Ooh, okay, couple choices here. A couple choices. He's any color. Alright, so let's start. Doesn't matter. Bring him in first. Alright, so I'm going to start with these guys because I'll be able to do him and him this turn. So we'll do these 2. Bring him in. So this gives me a life every turn, which is nice. She has menace and keeps him from gaining any life. I'll be able to throw him in, which will give me 4 mana, and then I can bring in my shield. My shield protects me and all my creatures from 1 damage. Absorbed 1 point of damage. And if they cast a spell against me, it costs them an extra 1.
Fight
Zarel.
like your
Huh?
soul depends.
Okay.
Reinforcements will drive them back.
Interesting. So let's see what she does with these guys. It's just my creatures too. Whenever you or another permanent you control becomes target of a spell, if a source to you or permanent you control prevent 1 damage. Yep. Perfecto. So we're bringing these in. We're going to bring in the shield. So now I'm going to attack. If he does block with both, he has to. They are not going to do any damage to me. I will kill them both. No, I will kill the dragon. I mean the devil. And hopefully he won't notice and will attack my creature. Actually, it doesn't matter who he attacks. He's not going to do a damage because of my shield. So, haha. I don't do the Simpsons laugh very well. But just picture that in your mind. Haha. Alright, I'll stop. Alright, let's see what we got here. It's Kosh, do another one. Alright, alright. And Bubble Boy does what? Doesn't untap ever. Okay.
Unleash your ferocity.
Okay, 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 okay. Cool, 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 cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I have is 4. So I don't have anything I need to worry about. So I'm going to bring him in. Give me 5 next turn, and I'll go ahead and bring him in tapped. Gives me 6 next turn, and that'll give me, and then I'll be able to bring him in for 7. Perfect. What do you do? She gets a +1, +1. All right, we're gonna move on. Pass the turn, baby. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll bring in 7. So 3 away from Ulamog. Ulamog is insane. Costs 10, and if you cast him by spending the 10, he destroys 2 permanents as he comes in. His health is indestructible, and whenever he attacks, he has to exile the top 20 cards of his deck.
Let your fury instill fear.
Atomic. I'm doing very well today, thank you for asking. I'm not sure where the 3rd dice came from, but okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and bring him in as a swamp. That'll allow us to bring in our Platinum Angel. So the Platinum Angel is pretty cool because I cannot lose the game and he cannot win the game while that card is on the table. You can't lose the game and your opponent can't win the game. All I have to do is kill this guy, but I can be at negative 100 life. It doesn't matter.
Rain hellfire on
So her
them.
ultimate is 6. I don't know why she didn't do that. He should have done that instead. Winning is hard. Alright. Alright, so that's enough? It's not. I'm close. 6. So I have 7, 8. I'm 8. I need 10 to get this guy out. So I'm getting close, but alright, so Platinum Angel is going to attack her. He has to stop her from hitting him, otherwise he can't do his ultimate. So because of his ultimate, which he's now going to do, Night Coup, he'll be able to have 2 attack rounds every turn, and that's, if I didn't have Platinum Angel out, that would be the end of the game.
Never tire of cutting down your enemies.
But because of Platinum Angel, until he kills Platinum Angel, there's nothing he can do to win the game. And that's going to give me time to get like Ulamog out. So, like I said, I'm not really concerned as long as he doesn't look like he has a way to kill Platinum Angel. So, and he's doing 1 less damage every time because of my shield. So the shield here protects me, does absorbs 1 point of damage from every creature and every spell he casts. Did I say target all creatures or just one creature? Target creature. Okay, so it's only one creature anyway, so it's not as much as I thought it was. Still understand how he's getting so many dice because, oh, these guys give him dice. That's what it is. All right. Alright, down to 1 life. Haha. Now I'm up to 2, but it doesn't matter. Nice. I'm slowly getting there. Slowly and surely. That's 9. Next turn. See, I can kill 2 permanents. I wonder if this counts as a permanent. I don't know. Alright, next to combat. So I am going to go ahead and make sure I'm attacking every turn with the angel. Trying to kill her if I can. Camzilla, welcome, welcome. So we're playing a protracted, long, drawn-out battle. I'm waiting to bring out this guy. That's my goal, is to bring out Ulamog. And he cannot win while I have this card on the board. So he either needs, so his goal is to get rid of this guy. But he doesn't have cards in his deck that allow him to do so. So he is just basically floundering around. So you see I have two life. I will soon have negative life, but I can't lose the game. And I am 1 away from bringing him out.
Spill their blood.
Because he costs 10 and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9er over here. So I need 1 more. And I can do it. So in the meantime, he's doing all his combos and all his things and trying to build up his characters and his people. But it is all for naught. He right now has 2 combat. Just started magic, but I'm trying to learn more. Well, this is a crazy. This particular duel is a crazy one to come into because a lot of the normal rules have been thrown out the window because of this. The way this combo of decks. So her Planeswalker over here allows her to have 2 combats every turn. So what this does over here, it allows you to have 2 combats. This deck, shield, protects all of my creatures and me from 1 point of damage every time I take damage. All these cards that she has are boosted by these guys that give him extra dice, and the barbarian over here that gives him extra dice. So every time it's supposed to roll a die, you see he's rolling 3 and 4 instead. One of these years he's gonna find something. There we go. Finally, he found something that can get rid of my sea angel. There we go. Took him long enough. Yes. Alright, so what I'm going to do then, Camzilla, is I'll go ahead and bring out a easier deck to understand. Besides my historic cluster. So I'll go with my greeny deck. It's pretty straightforward. Magic the Gathering Arena is the software I'm using. If Camzilla, if you're not familiar with them, I highly recommend them. You don't have to pay for anything. If you want to, then you can definitely earn cards faster, but you don't have to. You just have to play. As long as you're playing often, you will earn enough to have good solid decks, and they even give you a bunch of decks to start with, and they are decent decks. So definitely it's worth playing and learning, and by the time you get to where you know what you're doing, you'll have enough cards to where you can be competitive. Alright, so Communion with Spirits cost me 1, so it'll give me another land. 2, this cost me 2, 2, 3, this cost me 4, 5, alright, so we'll keep it. So this is an insane card, pretty much a game winner right there. Is this only on PC? It's not on any other platform except there is a phone app. I honestly have never played the phone app. I just don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I just don't see how it would possibly work. But that's just ignorance. I haven't even seen what it looks like. So Magic the Gathering Arena does have a phone app, so that is a way to go as well. So I'm trying to. So what this card does, it's really cool how that pack is. For 2, I can play any creature card from my hand. So it makes it, it's really powerful, it's really nice. He's got an Ambush Paratrooper. Okay. He has In the Trenches. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so now I have 4. So I have a choice. I can bring in my powerful girl, or I can bring him in. I'm going to bring him in for a couple reasons. Because white has cards that will make my cards go away, exile them, and take them out of the game. So I'm trying to tempt her to use those, or him, Lauren Bobo, on this card instead of my really powerful Howlpack Piper. Pass the turn. And the other thing is, if she transforms into Knight, she can automatically kill his artifact. Oh, that's an enchantment. Or she can kill his enchantment. Otherwise, I have to kill her in order to, or him, whatever it is, to kill it. And I don't want to do that. It's not worth it. This one will protect her. This one will fight. Cause it to fight another creature. Does damage equal to its power, so I would do 2 points of damage to him. Alright, so we're getting lots of land, which is great. Puts +1/+1 on a creature I control. It gains vigilance, so I'm going to go do that. Boom. So I'm gambling because I can't cast this spell anymore, but that's alright. I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to attack, up to 3 damage, and then I'll come back. I can't block him anyway because he's flying, but I'm taking a little bit of his life away. Next turn, I'll be able to put another +1/+1 counter on them, and then I'll be able to do my attack. unless he gains another +1 somehow. He did not. So good. I'll be able to kill him now. Alright, so I now have 6. So actually I'm going to bring him in. Let's see. So at the beginning of combat, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another target you control. And when she has hexproof, when she changes into the werewolf, everything I have gets hexproof, which means I can't cast spells against her. So it's pretty insane. So that kills him. Now I'm gonna cast a second spell so that it'll turn to night. I don't care about the bonus. I want it to turn to night at the end of the turn. What? I thought that was if a player casts no spells in their turn, it becomes night. Alright, my bad. When it's night, if you cast 2 spells, it becomes day. Alright, well, first mistake I've ever made. Alright, so this will come in as a 5/5 Snake Warrior with Vigilance and Haste. So I'll be doing 10 points of damage to him. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring her in as well. My Avabrook caretaker. And then the next turn, I just won't cast anything. So this happens more than I would like it to. It looks like I'm winning. He has 3 cards in his hand. He took away my enchantment, so I was a little surprised at that. Nice, it is now night. So as he attacks, every time he attacks, he'll destroy something. So we're going to bring her in first. She'll give him a +2/+2. He's attacking, and remember how I said all the creatures get, all my permanents get hexproof. Also, every turn at the beginning of combat, I put +1/+1 count. She puts 2 counters on every creature I control. So this is an insane card. Victory! So one of the nice things about this, remember how I said you don't have to spend money? I'm not just saying that. As you see here, I just got 100 gold, so some experience. You can every day this resets, so you're earning gold, you're getting new cards. Every week this one resets. Every day you get another special mission, and you can have up to 3 missions at a time. So if I don't finish this today, it'll still be there tomorrow with what I've done toward it. And then when you're ready to build your deck, so that's the one I was just using. If I don't have a card, so that card I just showed you, that was just so incredibly insane. This one, her. Let me go back to where you can see her. There she is. So she's a mythic rare. So you can see from the color of the symbol on her. So Avabrook. Let's take a look at her. I would have to check the mobile version. I don't have a PC or computer. Okay, yeah. Check the mobile version. Hopefully your phone will be able to run it. So I only have 1 copy of her. You can have up to 4. But I can go over here to craft. And when I click on her, you'll see I have 23 wild cards that I've earned. And that got me. He's now following me. uh, Thanks for the follow, Camzilla. Appreciate it. Um, and so when you're doing, and same thing with these, so this is the rares. I have 34 rares, wild cards. I have an insane amount of commons. I have 179 common. So it allows you to pick the cards. Yes, you also get packs. You get them, a lot of them for free, or you can spend the gold you make. It's 1,000 per pack. But every time you open a pack, both of these will tick up. So, I mean, this will tick up, and so I'll earn. So for when I open 6 packs, I'll get a rare, an uncommon, and then this will tick up one more closer to getting a rare one. And so, like I said, as long as you're playing, you don't have to pay money. It's really nice. And you can also set your, and this is true for the phone as well, you can set your avatar. So this is my Acme. If I don't select an individual one, these are all the ones I've earned. I haven't paid for any of them. Cash, I've used this to earn them. I've earned these 9 draft tokens. I haven't paid for them. So, like I said, you just have to play. And the more you play, the more you get, and the more you can get stuff. So it's pretty cool. All right, so that was my green deck. I have a black. Let's go with black discard. Doesn't win as much, and in a way, I feel bad for the people I play against, because when you play against these type of decks, it is very, very frustrating. Perfect. So I have 3 lands. Beautimus. I can go with 2 depending on what other cards I have. I'm gonna throw this out. Boink. Player discards 2 cards. Okay. Alright, so he's at 50. He's got a normal deck of 60, which is beautiful. I don't have to worry about doing it. So the whole concept of this deck is to make him discard cards and kill his creatures. That's the whole goal. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or discard unless they discard a card. This card, every time he discards a card, it makes a bird. I make a little bird token. Alright, pass the turn. So my goal is to make him discard cards. So he says, at the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a bird. Then discard 2 cards. I don't know if it works if he makes himself discard. So he is drawing a lot and discarding a lot. So it makes me seem like he has one of those very particular win condition decks. Total power of 5 or less. Okay, so that won't work. Alright, each creature sacrifices. Yeah, we're gonna do this. You're gonna have to do it twice. You're gonna have to discard 2 cards or kill his creature. And when he discard the card. I will then, at the end of the turn, I will make a bird. So I'm not going to attack because he would just kill me, because he is a 5/5, I'm a 2/1. No attacks. And there's my bird. He's flying, which is nice. Alright, so his beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of the library, you may reveal it to transform him into a 3/2 flyer, okay? Cool, cool, cool. No blocks, I'll take the 5. Alright, so what these guys do is if they die, they make him discard cards. Excellent, so we killed this dude. Excellent, I'm happy for that. Alright, so this one costs 3. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. He can't block. But what I'm going to do is I'm now going to kill him. And when he dies, return to the battlefield transformed under your control, attached to target creature. Oh, he has a ward. Ooh, I forgot he has a ward. Ah, well, I'll screw myself. Ooh, nice. So he actually helped me. Go ahead and do 1 point damage to him. So he helped me because I could not have paid to ward to pay for his ward. Ward just means you had to pay extra mana to attack them or target them rather. Alright, so he is back. Alright, so let's go ahead and I have 4 left. I'm going to go ahead and make him discard a non-land from his card. And yeah, I don't see me winning this at all, but we're going to go down fighting. Do I want to pay 2? I don't want to pay. I'm just going to decline. And I will bring in another one of these guys. He can't block either, so they're both going to attack. So I'm going to block his creatures with my creatures. And now I'm going to do it again. But this time I will have enough to pay for the war. Alright, so he's attached and now we're going to attack. So what happens is when he, at the beginning of his turn, he has to sacrifice a non-land permanent and lose a life. At the beginning of my turn, rather. But he's just going to kill me anyway, so. Day late and a dollar short. Alright, yeah, like Black Discard doesn't have a high win rate. About 30%, give or take. But when it works well. And it's, like I said, it's just so frustrating for the opponent. And discard. I just didn't get the right combos at the beginning. So it didn't really help toward the victory. Alright, this is an okay opening hand. As long as I continue to draw land. I have to get 2 more land. 3 would be perfect. 2 would be okay. My little sleeping dragon. This is one of my favorite covers as well. The cool little fanciness that it has. Ew, just sparkling. Done. Alright, my turn. There's you can buy card backs and like these, and you can also buy different art for different cards. So like this one is a part of a vampire set of lands. So each of the lands features a vampire on it. Alright, so we'll take a look at what this guy does. He's +2/+2 if he pays 2, and he can only do it once. So it can become a 3/3, and that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pilfer from his hand instead. Choose a non-land, and he discards it. So I don't like her. I think this is... I'm going to get rid of her. Okay. 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 Alright, so the pack pup gets out of control very fast. So we will kill him with this on my turn. Because every turn he gains +1/+1 counter. Now he gains nothing because he's dead. He dead. Bring him in next turn. Ew. Oh, that's right. I remember him. So he comes in, and then you can just slowly make him more and more and more powerful. So I'm going to bring him in first. So we want him to die, remember? Because when he dies, he then makes the other player discard. I mean, not discard, but kill his own creatures. If he does not die, then he just sits there and keeps doing 2 damage to him all the time. Because I can't use him to block, but he can be blocked. Alright, so he's already got 2 cards he can cast, so I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Beginning of combat on your turn, a wolf gets +2 until the end of the turn, okay? Yay, finally got another land. So, bring him in. Now, can I do it right away? I can. So he becomes a 2/2. And then it costs me 2 more to bring him up. Okay? Okay, 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 okay. Next to combat. To attack, just keep doing 2 damage to him every time. That will end the turn. Alright, so he next when I pay, so he became a 1/1. He was a 1/1, he became a 2/2. Now he'll become a 3/3 with Death Touch. And then if I pay 3, he'll become a 4/4. A Weaver of Blossoms. And then a blossom. It's a wolf with a lei around his neck. Interesting. Yeah, this is not looking very good, man. Didn't get the lands fast enough. Hopefully, he will not notice what this guy does, and he will block him. That is the goal. Alright, so choose one. Exile a creature, or return a planeswalker from my graveyard. First of all, let's go to combat and see if he takes the bait. Come on, block him. You know you want to. You know you want to. Block him. Block him. Block him. Block him. Well, do something. Whether you're going to block him or not. Next. Okay, so I think I'm going to wait, and so this becomes gains death touch and indestructible. So I'm going to wait, let him attack me, block him with my sleeper, and give him death touch and indestructible to kill his creature. So it is a evil plan, but if it works, he will be down a creature. This is werewolf. Add 2 mini color. That's cool. Target creature gets +2/+0 to the end of the turn. If it's night, then deals damage. Alright, so he's trying to do 3 damage to me. Do I want to save him? I do. Well, it foils my plan, but at least it makes him indestructible. I don't lose him this turn. And hopefully I'll get out on the land. Resolve. If I get a land, then it's all over but the singing. Because this chick comes in and she's insane. Then she comes in, she's insane. She's not really insane, but she's pretty cool. Resolve. Are you really going to attack? Oh, please do. Click, 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 look, click my dragon. I'll breathe. His little purpleness, he did not. Yes, I've got a land. Okay. Alright, everybody calm down. Here we go. Boom. So whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. Whenever he draws a card, he loses 2 life. She has Death Touch, which means as she does any damage to any creature, it dies. And she's a 4/5. Alright, he's attacking. Maybe she'll...
Wow.
Maybe Kaitsu will... Yeah, exactly. Wow. So maybe he'll forget and block him. So what she does is she's a 1/3, and at the beginning of my upkeep, he has to sacrifice a creature. If he does not, then she becomes this 3/3 vampire with flying. And as long as she controls a human, they control a human, and she'll have a bonus. But so makes them sacrifice creatures, or makes my creature better. Which is pretty cool. Alright, so now that I've gotten them out, if I get one more land, I can bring in my Invoke Despair. Which he sacrifices a creature. If he can't, he loses 2 life. And I draw a card. Then he sacrifices an enchantment. If he can't, he loses 2 life and I draw a card. And he sacrifices a planeswalker. If he can't, he loses 2 life and I draw a card. So it's very nice. Alright, so I could block him with her and kill him. Instead, I'm just going to take the damage. Nah, I'm going to wait. I'll go ahead and just block with him. It's called a chump block. That just means I can't touch him, I can't kill him, but it stops me from taking the 7 damage. He doesn't have trample, so he's just going to kill my guy, and we'll move on with life. I don't know what tricks he has up his sleeve, and oh, that would bring me down to 3 if I didn't do that. So, but now I'm up to 12. So now I can target opponent exiles a creature or an enchantment. So this is an enchantment. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's get rid of that enchantment. I don't like him getting that super bonus every turn. So he only has 1. He has no choice. He has to get rid of him. So like I said, this is a discard deck that I'm playing. That just makes him discard from his hand, from the board, sacrifice, discard, all that stuff. It is not fun to play against. Ooh, so he got rid of that enchantment instead. He had 2. I forgot about the one that was controlling him. So that's cool. That works too. Alright, and I'm done. I'm not going to do anything else. No, I am going to attack with him, so never mind. He's attacking. So you have 3 timeouts in Arena, 30-second timeouts, and it may not seem like much, but in situations like this, they can't do anything. So he either has a really slow connection, or he's just being a jerk. I'm hoping he just has a slow connection and isn't just being mean on purpose. And annoying on purpose, I mean. But we shall see. So if you're interested in Camzilla, I don't know if you're still around, but I do D&D live play as I'm a dungeon master and a player. And on Sundays, I do Starfinder, which is like Guardians of the Galaxy with magic. Alright, so I don't like this critter. Other wolves get +1/+1. So I can kill a creature right here with this guy. Alright, okay, I don't see anything else. Other wolves get +1/+1. Yeah, I think he may have made a mistake. I'm hoping I'm not wrong. Excellent. I was not wrong. Alright, so my Raven Man is back. I think I'm going to kill his dude instead. He's going to have to discard one of them. Let's go ahead and bring her in first. He's going to attack again. So the reason I'm not attacking with her is I want her to be able to block. And you never know when they might have tricks up their sleeve. And he might have a destroy target tapped creature or do 3 damage with a red spell and stuff like that. So when you have a card that you really like, I play it close to the vest, and I do my best not to do so. See, so like that, he just did 2 extra damage. If she was already hurt, she would be dead. So I gotta be safe. It costs 3 to do that, though. Interesting. He's doing 7 damage. And I'm just going to let him do it. So he's down to 7 life also. He has 1 mana, 3 cards. On my turn, he has to discard a sacrifice a creature. Or she transforms to a 3/3. He sacrificed a creature. Nice. Okay, now it gets fun. We do our Invoke Despair. So he's going to sacrifice a creature, and so that was enough for him just to give up. Invoke Despair. He despaired at the end. Yeah, so he would have had to sacrifice a creature. Then he would have had to kill his enchantment. And then he would have lost 2 life, and I would have drawn a card. Because he doesn't have a Planeswalker out. So that's the discard deck. Again, somewhat straightforward. If you're looking to build a deck, see, so I got this for free. It's a free card. Boom. It's an uncommon. It's a little silver. Just by playing today. Next one's 50 gold. And the one after that, number 6 wins, is another card. For free. And then, now I pay for the mastery, the bottom row. But you'll notice I'm also earning these. And this whole top row is all free. So all these packs, see, just by playing you get all these packs. Pack after pack after pack. All for free just for playing and earning experience. That's what you would get for those. And the mastery tree gives you fancy looking cards. Like these are card backs. This is these are the fancy cards that you can get. Another card back, the card back. The sleeves, I should say, not card backs, but the sleeves. These are just a fancy art for them, the little 3D art and things. So this is Magic the Gathering Arena. MTGA. Let me I also play, Matt, since you're dealing with your phone, Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest is probably the game I played the most on my phone and I have had the longest. And let me make sure I'm not. I actually have it up right now while I was waiting for this to load. And again, you don't have to pay anything for Magic the Gathering. Yeah, it is Magic the Gathering, or just Magic Puzzle Quest. And you'll see it in your app store. And that is tons of fun. It's a match 3, but you're earning mana to bring in cards and use cards. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites of all time, and it's a somewhat older one, so you don't have to have the super insane graphics. So I'm 1 card away, 1 attack away from getting 500 gold. Which will also, and if I win, I'll get another 50. The cool thing with these things is most of the time you don't have to win. They're play black or green cards. Play 20 black or green cards, or attack with creatures, or play 15 lands. So even if you're getting your butt kicked and you never win a single game, you're still earning money from here, from these daily quests. And the decks They have all decks, Alchemy, Explorer. Okay, no, where's the it's the collection down here? Anyway, so all these ones here, Shriners, Explorer. Okay, where is it? They give you a bunch of decks for free. You get one of each color when you start, and then every time they come out with a new one, like when Brothers War came out, they came out with a whole new set, and you got one of each color, and sometimes one doubles on one. So, yep, Magic the Gathering Arena on the App Store. Yeah, like I said, I've just never played it on the phone. I have a friend who has, and he likes it a lot. I've never even seen it on a phone, so I don't know how well it plays on the phone. But I try to do this on every Thursday. I don't have a set schedule for my Thursdays because life is really chaotic. But I do have, um, like I said, tonight at 6 to 9 Eastern Time, 9 to midnight. I mean Pacific Time, 9 to midnight Eastern. I'll be doing some Dungeons and Dragons. And what what I miss? What did I do wrong? Is it just Sked? There it is, Sked. Um, and then uh, Wednesdays we do D&D, and like I said, Sundays we do Starfinder. So come back, check it out. Thanks for hanging with me, Drake. Appreciate the sub. That was awesome. I really appreciate you. And Tom Akira Squad, thanks again for hanging out. Camzilla, it was great talking to you. Hopefully you learned a little bit. And if you have any questions, this will be on YouTube. You can also check out the Using the Tubes, as this says down below. This is number 58, so I have 57 more of those. What? Oh, is it socials? Boy, yeah, I've never used. Oh, hey, Zinlu coming in strong. Welcome. No, what happened to my call? That's weird. Anyway, check out when you go to YouTube, just search Spencer77 and you'll find me. And like I said, there's 57 more of these you can check out and see, and see all my different content. You can also see Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. I have 4 or so videos of those of me playing the phone version, so check those out. Zinlu, welcome. I'm getting ready to pause here. I'll be back probably in half an hour or so, or an hour, getting ready to do some Fantasy Grounds prep for tonight's game. They're in this huge, massive dungeon that called the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And so I've just going through checking some rooms. I'll be checking rooms and encounters and making sure everything is set right for them and showing you how to use Fantasy Grounds for that. So like, subscribe, all that stuff. Whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks a lot, guys.